Hello, and welcome to ONCA 101, Voting at Members' Meetings of Ontario Nonprofits. My name is Benjamin Miller, and I'm a lawyer who serves nonprofits and charities, and I'm of counsel with B.I.G Charity Law Group. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the basic rules under Ontario's Not-for-Profit Corporations Act dealing with the process of voting at members' meetings. We have another video dealing with the time and place of the members' meetings, so be sure to check some of those videos out. In this video, we'll talk about the quorum for members' meetings, the rules for voting in person, and the rules for voting online, remotely, and by proxy. Just a quick disclaimer, the following presentation is general legal information, not legal advice tailored to your situation. If you're looking for advice, we suggest you contact a competent legal advisor. My contact information is at the end of this presentation, and you can also visit charitylawgroup.ca. So first and foremost, in order for any official voting to happen at the meeting, you first need there to be a quorum. A quorum is the minimum number of members you need at the meeting for official business to happen. So what's the minimum number? So the default rule, if your bylaws don't say anything, the default rule is that a majority of your members, 50% plus one of your members, have to be at the members' meeting. Now, if you're an organization with a lot of members, that can be quite onerous, and your members might not be that interested. It might be hard to get even a smaller number of members out to the annual general meeting or the members' meeting. So you can change it under your bylaws. You can make it much lower. And of course, there's a trade-off of making it easy to attain versus having a genuinely accountable members meeting. But you can set whatever quorum you want. Interestingly, under Ontario's Not-for-Profit Corporations Act, if you start the meeting with a quorum, but you lose it partway through, the meeting can still continue. But your bylaws can say otherwise. Okay, so the voting process in person. So let's say you at least had a quorum at the beginning of your meeting. The bylaws can provide for pretty much any voting method. So you can get creative, and I encourage you to do so. There's no reason to just assume the old show of hands method is the best. But if you don't want to get creative, the method is as follows. You do the vote by a show of hands, and if a member is dissatisfied by how the vote was counted, then they can request that a ballot be taken. So you do it in writing, and somebody goes around and collects all the writing, and you count the paper ballots. The default voting threshold, so how many votes you actually need for a resolution to pass or a motion to pass, for standard resolutions, the minimum is 50% plus one. Certain extraordinary or special resolutions may require 2/3 or 80% or even sometimes a unanimous resolution. But there are lots of details around that, so I won't get into it. By default, the chair of the meeting does not have a second vote. So if you have a tie vote, you can recount it, but if you still have a tie vote at the end of that, the motion fails. You can provide in your bylaws for the chair to have a second vote if you'd like. So that's voting in person, voting online, remotely, or by proxy. So when it comes to voting online, you certainly can do that. A lot of organizations have over the course of COVID. Basically, you need to keep two things in mind. You must be able to do an anonymous vote, or at least you should. On the other hand, you should be able to confirm that everybody who did vote was a member. So you don't necessarily need to know how each individual voted, but you need to be able to make sure that the only people who voted were allowed to do so. You can also provide for votes ahead of time by providing mail-in ballots or giving people the option to vote by telephone. And finally, you don't have to, but in your bylaws can provide members with the right to appoint a proxy. So this is somebody who attends the meeting on behalf of the member and votes on their behalf. And your bylaws can require that the appointed person, they're called the proxy holder, the appointed person also be a member. And you might want to do this if, for example, your members are a vulnerable community and you don't necessarily want just anybody showing up to the meeting. So that's a general overview of voting under Ontario's Not-for-Profit Corporations Act. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at benjamin.miller@charitylawgroup.ca or just visit charitylawgroup.ca. Thanks so much for listening.